In Thunder Bay, Ontario, the families of 3 First Nations people who have died say the city's police force should be disbanded. There is increased scrutiny after recent charges against its former chief of police. CBC's Megan Fitzpatrick is following that story for us. Megan, explain these complaints and why they're coming to light.
Well, the complaints have been filed with the Inspector General of Policing of Ontario on behalf of these families, and they're asking, this is sort of an oversight type body, they want the cases that are investigating the deaths of their loved ones reassigned to completely different police services, and they want the Thunder Bay Police Service dissolved entirely. Now, this isn't the first time this kind of call has been made by some leaders, First Nations leaders in Northern Ontario. They made a similar call back in 2022. They say, the leaders and the family members, they're making these calls because they have no other recourse, that the investigations into the deaths of their family members have simply been not credible, not competent, and they simply don't trust the police service in Thunder Bay to handle these cases properly. There's a complete lack of trust, we heard at a news conference this morning here at Queen's Park, and those recent arrests and charges laid against the former police chief as well as a lawyer for the police service further reinforces that the leadership of the Thunder Bay Police can't be trusted, is what we heard at the news conference. Take a listen to what Chief Alvin Fiddler said at that news conference.
The Thunder Bay Police Service has turned into a cold case factory when it comes to investigations into the deaths of Indigenous peoples. There is a complete lack of trust. Everything has broken down.
And he said nothing has changed. There have been previous reports looking into how investigations into the deaths of Indigenous people are handled. Recommendations have been made, and nothing seems to be improving. He said it feels like a bad movie that's being replayed over and over again. Now, the Inspector General of Policing does have a mandate to improve policing in Ontario, to enhance public trust in policing, and it has a duty to respond to public complaints. Julian Falconer is a well-known lawyer, and he is acting on behalf of these families. So far, 2 complaints have been filed, and that third family is working on their complaint, and they expect to file it in the coming days.
What have we heard from the families so far?
Well, several relatives of 3 families, or 3 people who have died, were at this news conference. The room was packed. They were holding framed photos of their loved ones. The families here, the people who died, were Corey Bolesky, who was a 31-year-old man who died in 2022. His death was ruled a homicide. There's been no charges laid in relation to his death. Also, the family of Mackenzie Munoz was there. She was 14 years old when she died last year, and then Jenna Osberg, who was just 21 years old when she also died last year. These family members are saying they want answers, that they've largely been left in the dark, that there's been little to no communication with them from the police, updating them on what's going on with the investigations. Take a listen to the father of Jenna Osberg.
We got to dissolve the police board of Thunder Bay and dissolve the Thunder Bay Police Service. We need a competent police service in Northern Ontario. Our people need to be safe. We need to be safe. We are people. We are educated. We are good citizens.
So they said they want answers, they want justice for their loved ones. In question period this morning, NDP leader Marit Stiles, as well as NDP MPP Sol Mamakwa, who represents a riding in Northern Ontario, they asked questions of the government about these investigations, about how the Thunder Bay Police handles investigations related to the deaths of Indigenous people. Solicitor General Michael Kersner answered, saying there is a new chief in place in Thunder Bay, a new police board, and that they should be given the opportunity to work with stakeholders, and that the government is taking concerns seriously, that the government has been listening to First Nation leaders, to the families as well, and that they will continue to work with them and continue to listen to them and take their concerns seriously. Natasha.
CBC's Megan Fitzpatrick, thank you.